a Florida native and your two-time Masters champion, CrossFit Jax. Give it up for Shawn Ramirez. All right, tonight Shawn faces another champion, the champion of the first ever teen competition at the CrossFit Games. At 16 years of old, he won that competition. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Nick Paladino. All right, well, Dave Castro had so much fun in Buenos Aires on week 1 that he's gone international again for 16.3. Tonight, he'll go 6 hours ahead from here at CrossFit Jax. He's in Milan, Italy at CrossFit Open. So for the announcement of 16.3 from a 2 a.m. watch party, ladies and gentlemen, the director of the CrossFit Games, Dave Castro.
Good evening from Milano. It's 2 a.m. here. I hope you guys are having as much fun as we are. 16.3 is... Count. Time. 16.3 is 10 snatches at 75 pounds for the men, 55 for the women, and 3 bar muscle ups. As many reps as possible in 20 minutes. No. As many reps as possible in 7 minutes. It's time to put the engine in high gear, put the pedal to the metal, and go. Good luck.
All right, well, it's an old-fashioned bar fight from Dave Castro, and it's going to come down to who can hold on the longest. That's what I think anyways. What do you guys at home think? We want you to tweet along as well. Use the handle and the hashtag CrossFit Games. We'll try and get your tweets in the show and maybe get your questions answered on the cool down show later. Well, as always, there's some important details that we need to pay attention to. So all you masters, get out your reading glasses, and all you kids, put down your phones and pay attention for just 1 second. For 16.3 to count, it needs to look like this.
call of 3, 2, 1, go, the athlete grabs the barbell and begins their power snatches. For the barbell snatch, the athlete must bring the bar from the ground to the overhead position in one smooth motion. We need to see the arms, hips, and knees fully locked out with the bar clearly over the profile of the athlete's body. Once the athlete has reached lockout, the repetition will count. Every repetition of the bar muscle up must start with the athlete hanging at full extension and finishes when the athlete is supported on top of the bar with the elbows fully locked out and the shoulder over or in front of the bar. Your score is the total number of repetitions completed in the 7 minutes.
All right, first I want to give a shout out to one of my favorite athletes of all time, Julie Fouché. Thanks, Julie, for setting the standard on these 5 weeks. You're amazing. Now I got a message for you guys at home, and this is an important one. I say it every single week, but I feel like you're not listening to me. Those are abbreviated standards that we just showed you. So I'm not asking you this week, I'm telling you. You have to go to the CrossFit Games website. You have to print off your official scorecard, okay? It's gonna make it a lot harder to make mistakes. For example, this week, every time that you finish your bar muscle ups, there is a tie break time that needs to be recorded. Okay, go print this out. One more note. This is an old-fashioned bar muscle up. It's not a crazy glide kip. It's not some sort of gym ninja trick. Just get it done. It's an old-school bar muscle up. Now, back to the fitness at hand. We've got a Masters champion and a teen champion. They represent 20-plus years of fitness. It's perfect because the CrossFit program has always been about getting your fitness high and keeping it there.
The CrossFit Games added a Masters competition in 2010 and a teenage competition in 2015.
Sydney Sullivan, 6 for 6.
Now, these divisions make up nearly 1/4 of all athletes competing in the Open. While the CrossFit Games are a global competition, the goal of CrossFit has always been to increase your work capacity.
This is power graphed against time, and what you end up with in here is work capacity.
But fitness is not a sport with one season, and the real challenge is maintaining and growing that capacity over the course of a lifetime.
If you come out here on another axis, and I call this age, well, what you'd want to do is maintain your work capacity, keep as high as you can through the years. And what we're saying is that fitness is a snapshot of your health, and in the three-dimensional solid, I actually have a blueprint for the course of your life and your well-being. We had this last year, 15-year-old girls, an entire heat of them, doing things that I would wager that no man on earth could have done the first year of the games. You know, that's how much things have changed.
Outside the games, real-world analogs are found daily in affiliates around the world, from CrossFit kids ingraining sound movement patterns to elderly clients regaining an active lifestyle. By exploring the upper limits of fitness in different age domains, CrossFit masters and teenagers are reshaping expectations for what it means to grow up fit and to age gracefully.
Two amazing communities that we have here, and they both have representation from their home field here. First, we're going to talk to Team Nick. Yeoman Yang, you train with Nick frequently, and you know what his abilities are. Seeing the workout, what do you think his chances are?
I always say put the barbell in the kid's hands, he's going to shine. And then a funny thing about bar muscle-ups is he's been doing it basically every day. And we always tell him, you're not going to see that, you're not going to see that. So I know he's definitely ready for bar muscle-ups.
Okay, lucky draw for him. Now, you say that he brings some interesting energy to the box. Tell me about that.
Yeah, basically, you know, he's a typical 17-year-old, full of energy. The way it works is he works out with me in the morning, I get tired. He goes on to somebody else around 2, they get tired. He works out with somebody else at 6 at night, they get tired, and then we all go home, do it again the next day.
Outstanding. Where's you all out? Well, good luck to you guys tonight. In the Ramirez corner, we got another amazing Masters competitor, Ron Ortiz, on side. Look at this mountain of a man. So, Ron, you train with Shawn all the time. You know what he's capable of. How do you like this workout for him?
This is going to be a great workout for Shawn. Number one, my boy's got a tank, go tank forever and a day. So a short workout like this, he's going to rock it. Gymnastic-wise, it's a great workout for him. I'm excited. This should be a really, really good competition.
Outstanding. Let's talk about Masters in general. Just 5 years ago, we talked about this the other night. You guys were out in the parking lot. Now you've got a Masters competitor featured in the middle of the Open. What is this like for the Masters community?
I think it's awesome on both ends. Roy, I'm excited to see the fact that we're getting more and more recognized, number one, but also the younger generation coming up is also recognized. So this is a plus for both sides. I'm excited. This is, thank you, CrossFit, and Shawn, kick some butt, bro.
Thanks, Ron. All right, enough out of me. I'm going to pass the microphone over to Sean Woodland. He's calling the action in the booth, and he'll be hanging out all night tonight with the 2009 champion, Sean Woodland. Sean?
Thanks, Ro. Sean Woodland and 2009 champ Tanya Wagner. Wish I was a 2009 champ, but I do not have those credentials. Once again, we have a brand new movement to the Open. We have bar muscle-ups. They're paired with snatches, and it's for only 7 minutes, so an all-out sprint. I know you haven't had a lot of time to really think about this one, but what's the crux of the workout?
It's going to be that new movement. It's the bar muscle-ups. Who can stay the most efficient and keep that speed up for all 7 minutes?
When you look at both of these athletes, you have a 17-year-old, a 41-year-old. Differences there, obviously, but their numbers really defy their ages.
Absolutely. I mean, when you look at the 2015 games and you look at where they placed in their age brackets, really for all of the events, they placed just about the exact same placement. So really, this is an awesome head-to-head match regardless of how many ages separate them. So really great to see what they're going to do, how are they going to attack this workout. Is there going to be different strategies for both of them?
We heard from Nick Paladino's camp. We heard from Shawn Ramirez's camp. Both very confident, but who do you think this favors?
I have to give this one to Shawn Ramirez for 2 reasons. First, just there is nothing like experience. When you have it on your side, that's a huge advantage. And secondly, coming off the broken ankle from November, he's only been training lightweight. So his gymnastics and his conditioning are top-notch right now. So for him, that really bodes well. Plus, one more. I'll go for 3. He trains with his kids all the time, and he doesn't want to let any kid beat him.
You can really lose a workout like this in the first minute. What are you going to be looking for early on?
10 snatches that light can really wreck you. It can get your heart rate up really high, and it's going to be really that first minute to see how many rounds these guys really go for. Will that attack them and physically affect them when they get to the bar muscle-ups? 3 bar muscle-ups is really not that many, so you're going to see some strategy. If we see any breaking, which really you can't, this should really be hold on for the whole thing, but if we see any breaking, it will be because they went too hard too early, and that's just my only fear, seeing how light that barbell is. It can really affect you.
How many rounds do you think are possible here?
For these guys, just off the top of my head, I'm going to say easily 13.
Okay. I was wrong last week thinking no one would finish 16.2, maybe a handful. So I'm glad you're making that prediction. You ready to get things started?
Let's go.
16.3 is about to get underway. We can't really officially kick it off here. Hopefully Dave Castro has caught his breath. So let's go back to Milan, Italy for the director of the CrossFit Games, Dave Castro.
Athlete, 10 seconds. Dall'Italia, con amore. 3, 2, 1, go!
The battle of the ages is underway. Nick Paladino's on your left. Shawn Ramirez is on your right. The leader's name at the top of your screen will be highlighted in blue. 13 reps will make up 1 full round, and it's only 7 minutes to strap in. This one's going to go fast.
It's going to go fast, but there is not a lot of time to breathe, and that's the whole part, Shawn. Early on, these guys are just ripping right out of the gates, and if they keep this pace up, it's going to be really taxing come 2-3 minutes into it.
Paladino threw a round, and he was a fraction of a second ahead of Shawn Ramirez. He's back to the barbell for the first time. He threw 1 round, as is Ramirez, and they did it in about 30 seconds each.
And what's tempting is this weight is so light. You see how they're really just picking it up. Not a lot of hips involved. Really, Shawn Ramirez on the right. He's just picking that barbell with his back. This might be smart that he's pacing it a little bit better on this round. If you're pulling for 7 minutes straight on the barbell and then up on the rig, that's a lot of pulling. You want to recruit the hips, use a little bit more leg on this barbell. With it being so light, it's very easy to get caught up and just pick it up with poor form.
Both men threw 2 rounds. Paladino, again, slightly ahead of Shawn Ramirez, and Paladino this is a blistering pace for him.
It really is, and Paladino has the numbers. His strength is impeccable. He takes a lot of max lifts, 1 rep max lifts over Shawn Ramirez, but that's not always indicative of who can move the most weight in a lighter weight for the most work capacity. And I love this open because we're really seeing work capacity. Right now, Paladino really is breathing heavy. Doesn't have the best technique on the bar with it being lighter. Looks a little fatigued. Shawn looks very calm, relaxed. And hopefully that's strategy pays off, but he cannot afford to let Paladino lap him and get ahead of him too much and let too much time get between him.
Paladino still 2 reps ahead of Shawn Ramirez. Both men are now on their 4th rounds, and it's back to the pull-up bar for Nick Paladino. Ramirez still keeping a steady pace. Paladino taking a moment to compose himself, and we're still about neck and neck, although Paladino is first on that bar muscle up. 3 reps they need to complete before they complete this round. They get into round number 5.
Watch how Shawn Ramirez gets those legs high. It's not necessarily a glide kick, but he uses the momentum from his hips to get himself as high as possible, and then he snaps himself over the bar. Very big bar muscle technique. And at this point, I'm looking at Shawn Ramirez in the blue, really just picking the bar up and pressing it overhead with his shoulders, not using as much hip. Nick repping them out with much more efficiency, using a lot more speed.
Shawn Ramirez is pulled about even with Paladino. Paladino about half a rep ahead. And now both men looking to complete round number 5 as we approach the 3-minute mark here at CrossFit Jax in Jacksonville, Florida. Ramirez has now passed Paladino.
And that's going to be the point, Shawn, right there. Ramirez wasted only 7 seconds of rest time while Paladino needed 11. That could be the point right there where Ramirez's early pacing gets him the win on this one. Paladino cannot get right back to that barbell and pick it up.
Paladino set a very fast pace. In fact, after he was done with his first set of 10 snatches, he sprinted to the pull-up bar. Shawn Ramirez still slow and steady here and has opened up about a 4-rep lead on Nick Paladino. We are in round 6, just 7 minutes in this workout. Both of these men are defending champions. Nick Paladino won the 16 and 17-year-old division. Last year at the Games, he won 4 of 7 events. Shawn Ramirez won his 2nd straight Masters Championship last year. He won 4 of 7 events. And now Shawn Ramirez is back on the pull-up bar.
There's a lot of pressure here, Shawn, under the lights, all the people cheering. Nick Paladino coming in here so excited yesterday, and we wondered how is he going to handle that pressure. And up against a veteran like Shawn Ramirez, who's used to that pressure, it is so hard not to redline, especially when you're that young and you're used to having the engine and you can blow past people in the gym.
We're into round 7 for both athletes, and neither one has broken up either the snatches or the bar muscle-ups. And Paladino is starting to fall further behind Shawn Ramirez.
While this workout has to be unbroken, it also has to be that you get right back to the barbell. You cannot waste any time. You can't look at the bar. It's 75 pounds. For these guys, it's not that heavy, so you have to keep moving.
Ramirez back to the pull bar. Paladino trying to catch him, and now he is done. Approaching the 5-minute mark, and then we'll just have 2 minutes to go in 16.3.
Ramirez is waiting just a little bit longer up there and kind of get a little bit of a rest, get a breather before going into the next bar muscle up. That's very smart because you can generate more momentum from the top rather than coming off of the bar. So really, you guys want to do these bar muscle ups unbroken if you can.
Both of these guys said they would like to see bar muscle ups when we talked to them yesterday. They got it. Paladino trying to catch up with Shawn Ramirez. Paladino led through about the first 4 to 5 rounds, but then Shawn Ramirez took over and is now a handful of reps ahead of Paladino. Both men in round number 8, and we have 90 seconds to go.
And Shawn, really for Paladino, this is not about him not being able to do bar muscle ups. It was just really a strategy fault that happened early on with that lightweight snatch barbell. The kid can move heavy loads, but that doesn't mean that you should move a lighter load that fast when it's going to attack your heart rate and get you that jazzed up and get you to that red line that fast.
And it is very easy to get caught up in the atmosphere here and get caught up in the competition to want to push harder than you can go. And Ramirez is now done with 8 rounds, back for round number 9, and Paladino closing out his 8th round. And 1 more bar muscle up to get that done.
And Ramirez really just using as minimal bit of power that he needs to on that barbell to get up. No wasted energy there because he's using it and saving it for the bar muscle up for him to generate that hip pop.
Neither man has broken a set here. They've gone completely unbroken so far, and we are in round number 9. Ramirez is done. He has 30 seconds to get 3 more bar muscle ups and then possibly try to rack up some more reps in round number 10. Paladino is done, and he will join Ramirez on the pull-up bar. Ramirez trying to hang on to the lead. He's through 2 of 3.
And heck of a gutsy push there for Paladino on the barbell. He knew that he had to hold on and go as fast as possible to catch.
Ramirez will get it. Now it's a matter of 10 seconds. How much work can he do? Paladino just finally broke his bar muscle-ups in round number 9. 3 to go, 2 and 1. Age and experience will reign supreme in 16.3. Shawn Ramirez takes the win.
He didn't want to let a kid beat him. He told us that yesterday, and he is happy about that. He's showing, making the Masters proud.
Ramirez's family is here, and he's embracing them. Great effort from both athletes, as Shawn Ramirez, unofficially right now, has the top score, not only in his division, but in the world.
He really did. He started off with the same speed as Paladino. They just went blazing right out of the gates. But after that first round of just 30 seconds, that's where he could afford to go that fast. He really dialed it in that second round, let Paladino have the lead because he knew he was in control of that speed, slowed everything down on the barbell, took his time, but really didn't waste a lot of time from one movement to the next. It was right here in the round 3 where he took the lead. Once he took that over, he did not let it up again. Kept that pacing, really played off the Nick and just made sure he stayed ahead of him. Nice, solid pacing all the way to the end.
Shawn Ramirez gets the win over 17-year-old Nick Paladino, who I guarantee we're going to be talking about quite a bit for many years to come. A very talented individual. These are the final seconds of the workout where Shawn Ramirez was able to just get a couple more reps on the board. Paladino frantically trying to get back to the bar, but he could not catch up with the 2-time Masters champion, Shawn Ramirez. Your unofficial results for 16.3 in Jacksonville, Florida at CrossFit Jax. Shawn Ramirez 123 and Nick Paladino 118. So now that we've seen two very talented athletes attack this workout, I know you had a strategy in your mind and an idea of what this was going to be all about going in. How did their performances affect what you thought about this event?
Really, it's the same thing, Shawn. It is about the bar muscle-ups, and it's all about your efficiency and how many you have. You cannot go to failure on this workout. It's only 7 minutes, but 7 minutes is a long time if you don't have the efficiency and the strength in the bar muscle-ups. So be very smart on that lightweight barbell. Make sure that you don't go into the bar muscle-ups too taxed, and then hold on for as long as you can on the bar muscle-ups to at least get 2 in a row to use that momentum off the second one.
Experience pays off, and it's Shawn Ramirez who gets the win over Nick Paladino, and he's standing by with Rory McKernan.
All right, Shawn, you got to tell the people at home what you just told me, how you're feeling right now.
Old, but I'm feeling really, really good because I just thank this crowd, which we don't ever get this close with the encounter with our fans, and you guys seriously lit up this room and helped push us to a whole nother level. Thank you.
You came out a little bit more slow. Did you get nervous at any point, or did you know your pace from the get-go?
I had no idea. I saw him run to the bar after the first set of 10, and I'm like, what is this kid doing? And then I started running behind him, and after that I'm like, oh my God, he's 17, what am I doing? So I figured it out quick, but he almost got me. I almost fell for it.
All right, smart. So you got this crew in Jacksonville, but you got a really special crew behind you. Who are these guys?
Woo! I got 3 boys of my own right here. 1, 2, where's the little guy? Oh, you can't really see him. And then these are my nieces and nephews, and it's amazing because, thank you. What's really cool is I came up here with my oldest son. He helps me with the training, so the little ones, but he's a good assistant, but when they came up and having them in my little corner here, that last muscle up was no joke. I don't know if you guys saw it, but all I saw was them just like screaming and it's getting the peripheral. Can't even talk right now.
You guys think your dad's pretty great?
They saved me.
Yeah. Guys, give it up for Shawn Ramirez. Congratulations, Shawn. Amazing performance by both athletes. Shawn and Nick are done, but that means that you and me have to do this workout. Luckily, before we take on this beast, there's a message for you to chew on from CrossFit's Director of Training, Nicole Carroll. Check it out.
16.3, here we are, light power snatches, and for the first time ever in an open workout, bar muscle-ups. Don't get discouraged too quickly here, and definitely don't submit to scaling before giving this one a good fight. If you've got ring muscle-ups or sets of chest-to-bar pull-ups and dips, you are most likely strong enough to do a bar muscle-up. You just might need a little bit of technique work. We created some videos expressly for this purpose. We'll have them posted to Facebook tonight in the extended version of these tips. Definitely check them out and definitely try this one as prescribed. One of the most important things to understand about this workout is you only need to go as quickly on the snatches as support successful bar muscle-ups. It doesn't make sense to do a set of really quick snatches only to spend 30 or 40 seconds regrouping, or worse, no repping. If you think this might happen to you, take your snatches steady, even deliberately break them up to maintain a little more grip and also a little bit lower heart rate so you can transition more successfully to the bar muscle-ups. This workout is all pulling. Your grip will be smoked and your shoulders will be taxed. The best way to manage this is use your hook grip throughout and actually use your legs and your hips to get that weight up. Don't just muscle it with your arms. Over the course of this workout, doing solid power snatches will actually leave you more pull in the tank for the duration. This workout is a lot of technical work while breathing hard. Stay smooth, stay focused, double down on your commitment to moving well. It will pay off on this one. Go get them, and good luck.
Thanks, Nicole. There's tons more from Nicole and lots of educational material, as we mentioned, on CrossFit's Facebook page. Please go check that out, because that's a wrap for us from here in Jacksonville. But before we take off, we got to thank our hosts, Chris and Megan Russell, and the whole crew here at CrossFit Jax. I want to give a shout out to the godfather of CrossFit in this area, TJ Cooper. He was the 3rd affiliate ever. Guys, give it up for TJ. And of course, the 2 amazing athletes who threw down tonight. Give it up for Shawn and Nick. All right, thanks for joining us. We're setting up for the cool down show. We hope you join us in a few minutes. We'll take social media questions. Nick and Shawn will sit down with us, and we'll also get Dave piped back in from Milan. Hopefully he's caught his breath by now and he can talk with us as well. And then tonight, me and Boz, it stops now. All right, on Facebook, you can see it live. We're going to be on this field for 16.3. Next week, we go from sea level to elevation. I can't wait to see you there. And until then, I'll see you on the leaderboard. Good night.
They waged an unforgettable battle in Carson. Next week, they go head-to-head in 16.4. Katrin Davidsdottir, the reigning Games champion, is on a mission to become just the 2nd woman to repeat as the fittest on Earth. Sarah Sigmundsdottir, the Icelandic phenom, nearly stood on top of the podium as a rookie at the Games. She's poised to challenge for the crown in 2016. It's round 1 of what will be a season-long fight. Davidsdottir versus Sigmundsdottir, live from Schriever Air Force Base in Colorado Springs, next week on games.crossfit.com.
All right, welcome back, friends. This is the Cool Down Show presented by Arasti. Nick Paladino, Shawn Ramirez, and we'll have Dave Castro joining us in just a few moments. It's not too late to get your social media questions in there, so use the hashtag CrossFit Games, and we'll try and get your tweet answered by the 2 athletes. Nick, I got to talk to you first. All right, we already talked to Shawn. You were shot out of a cannon, dude. And then at one point, it looked as if you kind of had that realization, man, something's got to change. What was that in your head?
Yeah, I thought I could just go as fast as I could and kind of let him catch up, but that unfortunately didn't turn out too well. So definitely don't go as fast as you can out of the gate, that's for sure.
So what was your rudder adjustment? Like, how did you change course? What'd you think? When you had to slow down, what was the plan from there?
Just take it a little slower, try to stay behind him, and then maybe 30 seconds, a minute, kick it back up, but I kind of lost it by then.
So people watching are thinking, okay, well, how am I going to do this? You were really muscling those snatches up and even pressing them out. That didn't catch up with you on the bar?
It didn't in the beginning, and just like he mentioned, just to go back to that, when he shot out of the gates, I started running behind him, and that right there, for 7 minutes, you think you can get it, but it's definitely something that you want to pace, but continuously just keep a good steady run. But the grip factor started coming in round 3, and I messed up at the beginning. It was just going closed grip. I didn't even think. I forgot to use the hook. And right when I started feeling my grip go up there on the 3rd, that's when I started hooking on the barbell, and then everything started getting a little bit smoother there. So definitely start off with a hook grip, save that grip. That's the other thing. He kept chalking up. I have grips, so the grips helped out a lot. So if you got gloves or grips or something, definitely a plus for this workout.
Nice. So where did it hit you? I mean, it was fast and furious workout. Looked at about 3 minutes is when you kind of came up for air.
Yeah, probably I'd say round 3. I was like, all right, this is getting pretty crazy. I'm gonna have to bring it down a little bit. But yeah, I mean, if you could keep that pace, do it. But if not, definitely pace it a little bit. I'd say.
All right, Shawn, you said that you were chasing Nick earlier until you realized he was 17 years old. The crazy thing about this matchup really is that your scores don't affect one another on the leaderboard at all. So what was that like? Were you thinking about that at all, go at your own pace, or was it head-to-head for you?
No, for me, it was definitely a head-to-head thing. There was a lot riding on this. You have all the masters out there saying, do it for Soul guys, do it for the vets. So I'm typically pretty good with pressure and pressure systems from the wrestling background, all this stuff. But let me tell you, this came up where it was like, man, I am representing a lot of people. And the same goes with this kid here. He's like, all the teens back home are like, man, don't let that old man beat you. And I know he felt the same thing. So it was tough. But the minute he shot out and started running to that bar, I started running behind him. And that's when I realized, oh my God, I'm 42, this kid's 17, slow down, old man.
Deep breaths.
So I started meditating a little bit, and it helped out. Yeah.
All right, well, I want to bring Dave Castro into the conversation now. Dave, this is a very intriguing matchup, a master versus a teen. For that reason, what made you choose to match them up?
Masters to compete. Rory and Justin, I think, are the ones who suggested it and proposed it to me as a option for doing in one of these announcements. They know that I'm always, I like to have the top guys from the last year's games do these open announcements. Sometimes people have been proposed who didn't necessarily place high at the games last year, but they're stars or they're little celebrities in the community. But that doesn't cut it for these open announcements. I want the best of the best to be here for this show. And they earn the right by placing high. So usually we'll invite 1, 2, 3 and go down the list. If someone says no, we'll go another number down. In this case, Nick and Shawn both won their divisions, so they had the placings. Obviously not in the premier divisions, but in the Masters and the teenage division. So I thought it was a great idea, and I said, let's do it. Let's bring them together, and let's have them go head-to-head. And it was a great idea. That was really fun to watch. The teenage division is something that's been exciting for us since we brought it to the games last year, and it was, of all of our highlights last year for the 2015 games, for most of us, it was one of the top 3 highlights, bringing that to the games and formalizing it and having the teenage part of the competition in the games.
No doubt. And the Masters also a little bit more vocal, and I love them for it. But I want to talk about the Masters competition. They're always asking, is it ever going to extend? Will there be more age divisions?
Let me say this. That is a good question. Last year in the games, for the individual men, I'm going to say the number, and I might be wrong by 1 or 2, but there was 4 or 5 athletes over 30. And I'm pretty sure there was 1 over 35. That's Neil Maddox. For the women, there was, I think, 7 or 8 women that were over 30 and 2 or 3 that were over 35. The fact that I even know that kind of hints towards the answer to that question. Next.
All right, good news for people who might be 34 years old. So thanks, Dave, and thanks to the crew at CrossFit Office Team for joining us late night. Great to see you guys. An amazing announcement. What do you think about that, man? You're kind of had some stuff to say while he's talking about that.
Yeah, actually in 2012 regionals, I was fighting for us 40 guys. I was 37, 38, and I was struggling with the weights. We had 100-pound dumbbell snatches, and I went to Dave actually, and Greg was there as well, Glassman, and I was like, guys, please. I was like, day one, I'm good with these young bucks. At a 7-minute workout all day. I was like, but day 2 in regionals, day 3, I'm crippled. I was like, I go, the recovery is just not there. And that's what he said. He said, if nobody makes it in the 40 to 44, we'll strongly consider. And it was the same kind of conversation. And the next year is when they opened it up. And it was like, the heavens opened. I was like, now I can actually look forward to something and really shoot to do, because those, I think the average age for CrossFit now is 24.
Yeah.
And it's not getting any older.
Yeah. Well, and you proved tonight you're as good once as you ever were. So you beat a 17-year-old in a short one. Let's go to the other side of the spectrum. Tell me about your experience this year. Like, I don't know how long you've actually been doing CrossFit before you got into this competition.
So I've been doing CrossFit now for about 2 years. And before they announced that the teams were going to the games, I did it for about a year.
Not fair.
And so you hear about this competition opening up. You throw your hat in the ring. Did you know you'd do so well?
I've been competing with guys pretty much when I started. I was doing pretty well. You know, I was competing, putting numbers up, and I thought I'd do pretty well. I didn't think I'd do this well, but I thought I'd be able to compete with them for sure.
Right on. And you seem, you deal with the pressure in a really mature fashion. I mean, you seem like you're not too fazed by these hundreds of people and this atmosphere. Are you just cool under pressure, or underneath are you freaking out?
I'm freaking out a little bit, but but no, I just came here, just keep it calm, cool, collective, and just do what I can do.
Right on. Okay, we've got a social media question. It's going to be for Mr. Shawn Ramirez. Coming in from Web Swing, question for Shawn. As a 40-plus athlete, what do you consume pre- and post-workout?
Good question. Pre, I load up with some aminos and BCAAs. I don't do any sugar, any glucose, or anything like that. Just straight amino fuel and branched chain. And then right after is where I have to have my protein with some good carbs. So I'll have, if you have waxy maize, something simple, like, you know, the powdered form of carbohydrate with some good whey protein, that's the way to go. But you got to do it like right after for some quick recovery. And then the biggest thing now for old guys, for all you guys out there, is if you guys haven't had deer antler, guys, look it up. It's like 40% more recovery, and 10 Institute, that's what I use, and it's amazing. Deer antler is...
And then take a bath in like icy hot, and then warm up the hip for a while. Connect yourself to the heating pad. Is that the deal? You pretty banged up from the years?
To be honest, no. And that's what I was talking to the early guys. At this ripened old age, you kind of have to not only listen to your body when it talks to you. Some people, I used to listen when it actually screamed, and that's because of my competitive edge. But you guys got to pay attention, and right when it whispers, right when you hear that little kind of little crackle in a knee or a little ankle joint starting to feel it, like, don't do that 4th or 5th set. If you do, lighten the weight. Listen to your body when it whispers, not when it screams.
Nice. Well, you guys both champions. I want to hear your goals for the year. Yours, impressively modest. Tell us what your kind of 2-year outlook is.
So, yeah, I definitely want to make it back to the games, you know, do my best. Hopefully the outcomes, you know, is what I want it to be. And then I'm going to do all I can to make regionals right after I'm done with this.
So it's to win the games again, and then to just make it to regionals once you're beyond the team division. Is that right?
Yep, and then once I make it there, if I do well enough, hopefully make it back to the games.
Fantastic. 2-time champ.
Yeah, this is definitely the three-peat. Is a lot more riding out. But with this, people like this, and people in the Masters all over, just rooting for the old guys to do well. Like, and those little young bucks back there, they're like, I have 3 boys. So the first year was for my oldest. 2nd year, my little guy. Is a real quick, funny story. At the final WOD of Amanda at the games this year, we had a special $2 bill for the back-to-back for the, where is he? Where's Reed? So that little guy right there, Amanda, I really just had to finish that workout. I didn't need to win it, but he didn't know that. He's 8 years old. So as I'm losing, I did horrible in Amanda. He's holding, I saw him as I'm finishing, the $2 bill in the air. Going, no! And it's just the neatest thing when your kids and the people that support you are pushing you all the way through, that you just, you can't do anything but just give everything you have, and that's what I'm doing for this year, coming through to defend my title.
Right on. Good for you. Thank you guys both for your performance tonight. It was amazing. Give it up for these athletes, guys. Hey, before we take off, I want to introduce you guys, and all of you guys actually, to a special guest that we have here. Jake Haskett has showed up, and it's been a long journey for Jake. He's actually ridden a bike across America. So we met at HQ on January 4th when he left, and he's done it in honor of his affiliate owner from 1211 CrossFit, and actually in honor of his son who had eye cancer, retinoblastoma, and it was to raise money and raise awareness for that. And we just want to tell me about a little bit about the journey. I know there's been some ups and some downs.
Oh shoot, it's been great. I've been staying in CrossFit gyms along the way, and they have really spoiled me, and they have kept me fed. I haven't lost a pound on this trip, if you can believe that. I don't know how you can ride 3,000 miles and not lose a pound. But there's been some other things, like I pushed it pretty hard in the desert, and I got exhausted, and some park rangers had to come rescue me.
Oh no.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you're not even a biker, right? I mean,
I'm not a cyclist. I just kind of jumped on a bike and started going. And that's what I love about CrossFit. I was in good enough shape that I could just get on and go.
Right on. Good for you, buddy. All right, and you've done a great job of getting towards your goal, but you haven't met it yet. So we're actually going to continue the journey. You're going to finish up in Miami, correct?
Yep. I'm going to continue on to Miami because we haven't met our fundraising goal. Because otherwise I'm at the end. I could stop right now. I'd be done right now, but we haven't met our goal. So I'm going to go on to Miami.
You might be back in California even.
I might just have to go around the world. We'll see.
Good luck, brother. We'll be cheering for you. Thanks for coming. Hey, thanks, Jacksonville. This has been amazing. Thanks to Shawn and Nick Paladino. That's it. Me versus Boz on Facebook. Tune in live. We'll see you in a couple minutes. Good night.